All right, we're going to jump over to Adrienne. Adrienne, you went from being overworked and underpaid to multi six-figure designer in less than 12 months. How did you do this?
Excellent. Well, it's not nearly as fun as comedy to talk about, so I really should have gone first, I
It's a
think.
hard act to follow, isn't it?
It is.
It's like, well,
Definitely a
at
hard
least
act.
one time I had an insurance guy on. I felt a bit bad for him because, he goes, okay, we're going to talk about insurance. And everyone just went,
Yeah.
it's not quite that
We're
bad.
let's talk about PowerPoint. This will be fun. Yeah, so I got started doing presentation design. I left my full-time job and just started freelancing, and then really started optimizing my business to do presentation design specifically, which I call it a rich niche, right? It's interesting in that it's so frequently tied to sales and marketing that
Mm.
there's a budget for it, right? And so many people don't realize that there's an opportunity to have someone professionally design their slides. And so they wait till the last minute to design their slides for their presentation or whatever. And that's where we get that kind of death by PowerPoint stigma. You know, you see somebody pull up their bulleted slides and then start reading from them because they
I'm,
threw them together at the last minute.
I'm feeling personally attacked, Adrienne.
I'm so sorry. You are not who I'm referring to, obviously. Look at this whole setup here. You're
Well,
not somebody who's doing it on the fly.
it's something. It's not necessarily pleasing on the eye, but
No,
yeah.
it looks great.
So that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, presentations is something where, like you say, all the salespeople are using them. Not just salespeople, but like online entrepreneurs are presenting opportunities, and often it's like, I guess, design is an afterthought. So, what are some of the benefits to investing in actually having good design?
Well, we know that people are able to retain more, which means that your ability to actually have your message heard, understood, and then have people following up on it afterwards is much higher. But your confidence going into it, we know people hate giving
Yeah.
presentations, right? They're more than dying. People are more afraid of giving presentations than dying. And the reality of that is that they're going to have to give those presentations far more frequently. And so if we can help people, figure out what their content is going to be, help them design it in a way that makes them feel confident, give it to them ahead of time that they can practice and prepare for it, they go into those presentations feeling far more confident, right? So there's a huge impact to that, to their ego, to their confidence level, to the actual results that they get on the back end.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. Like if you've got a really banging presentation, you go in, feeling a bit buoyant as opposed to something that doesn't look good. The other thing is, particularly with sales things, you need to be able to kind of get the frustration across and the emotion and the problem that you're solving. And I think maybe with design, you could actually do that in a better way where it has more of an impact, on the person watching it. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I think it's going to certainly depend on who the speaker is. Like Steve Jobs would always say, right? Like you don't need slides. Jeff Bezos says that. And I think there are certainly speakers and presenters who are really talented. They spend a lot of time to develop those skills. And I don't know that all of us have those skills. And we don't always have the time to prepare at that level. And so having that one reference material, but something else that kind of can help carry the message for us. But the other thing you have to think about is who is your audience? How do they learn? How do they retain information? And a lot of people are very visual people.
In terms of building this business, I mean, how did you know that this is kind of another niche? But how did you know that this was something that people wanted solved, a problem that people wanted solved?
It was really just a demand issue. People needed help. And it was when I was kind of looking at all the work I was doing, it was the most profitable work. It was the easiest to do. And it was the one I was winning all the bids off. And I realized so many designers hate PowerPoint because it's not a real design tool. But I used it so much in corporate that it didn't bother me to use PowerPoint. And I joke, had been